Hi there, welcome back to my channel. This is Medea J. So today's video is going to be a look into my January Shop My Stash. I'm going to be giving you my review of the products that I used for the entire month. It went a little bit over a month because I was poorly for about a week and a half, but I did get to use all these products. Every single one of them I used at one point or the other, so I'm really chuffed about that. I usually never get to go through the entire thing, but I am happy that I did get some use out of them. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts and also interested in me picking out my next Shop My Stash, then definitely keep on watching and subscribe. I do have a whole playlist for my Shop My Stash. I did it for the entire year last year, and obviously we're doing this one. So if you want to catch up on the Shop My Stash where I picked these products, I will have that linked in the description box and also in the cards. But yeah, let's get into my thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to start from this side and then we'll work our way up to the eyeshadow palettes. So let's start off with my primers. So the first primer is the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. I do have a video using this product and I have ranked this as one of my favorite primers in my top 5 primers for 2021. So I just wanted to get some more use out of it. What it normally does is it blurs my pores but also gives me a nice matte canvas for my foundation, and I absolutely love this product. I've used quite a lot of it already and it's one that I will definitely repurchase. So that's that. The next one that I did get to use is the Stila One Step Prime. This preps, smooths and nourishes the skin. I'll say this is a really hydrating, nourishing primer. Worked really well with my tinted moisturizer, also with my matte foundation, and it's left my skin looking luminous and feeling really good. This is one that I would probably use more often on days when my skin is feeling really dry, really unloved, or I'm having breakouts and kind of feel sore and I just want a primer that's just going to soothe and give me that kind of like cooling sensation on my face. So I love this. You can clearly see that I use quite a bit of it and it's one that I definitely recommend. Next primer is another one from Laura Mercier, and this is the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. This is the hydrating version. This works similarly to the Stila primer. This one is silicone free. It does feel just as nice as the Stila primer, but what I like about this one is I feel like it's a little bit more hydrating, if you can get even more hydrating than the Stila. But it does feel a little bit more hydrating and it does take its time to dry down, which I love because I don't want it to immediately, dry off and then just leave my skin feeling dry again. This one takes its time to dry down and works really well with all of my foundations. So all of these primers I did test it with the different foundations and they worked really well. So this is one that I recommend as well. Alright, so this one I used once and gave me a cute little cast. So I used this one with the Utopian Dream makeup tutorial. I believe this was the primer that I used, and it leaves a white cast. I mean, it works. It's per perfection. It does fill out the pores. It does leave a nice sticky base, but then it also leaves a massive white cast on my skin tone. So this is one that I probably won't use as often, but it does fill out the pores and it is mattifying to an extent. It does take such a long time to fully dry down, and ain't nobody got time for that. So this is definitely on the back bench. It's not one I would recommend, to be honest. You can get better. The e.l.f. one is definitely much better than this, and this one just tried to be e.l.f. a little bit and it's not doing it. So that one I don't recommend, and I think that's all the primers. So let's do foundation. So the first one, I've got 2 shades, so I didn't use this one because it's too dark. This is the shade that I used, and this is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. It's an oil-free tinted moisturizer. It's got SPF 20 in it, and And don't be deceived by the color here. It is a lot warmer and a lot more red toned on my skin, but I still made it work several times. I used this in several videos and I love the feel of this. So this is in shade Mocha. And the reason why I really love the feel of this one is it gave me my skin but better type of look. It also warmed up my skin quite a bit. So all I needed to do was go in with a lighter yellower concealer and it really balanced out. Because normally I would rely on my bronzer to give me some warmth. But because the tinted moisturizer is so warm, I had that from the jump. It also worked really well with my other primers. Like as I said, I've used all the primers with the different foundations and it works really well. And I like this. I feel like this is one I will definitely keep on using. You can tell that I used quite a lot because this is one that's used and this is one that's not. And you can see that this is a lot fuller than the one that I got a lot of use from. And I'm sure, as you've seen from my Shop My Stash videos, that I did use this quite a bit. By the way, if you're not caught up with the Shop My Stash videos, definitely check them out. I did do a look using all of these palettes because I know a lot of you want to see the actual Shop My Stash looks, and I've just made it a point to record them this year. So I hope you're enjoying them. Definitely let me know your thoughts. And the format, I do them as voiceovers just so that it's a lot easier and I speed through them a lot quicker as I am getting ready for work. But yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts. Anyway, would I recommend this? 100%. I would recommend it if you're an oily girl. This will keep your makeup on for longer. Definitely oil free and it feels really good on the skin. Works well with other primers as well. Another one that I used is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. This has SPF 15 in it. If you're an OG, you know that the MAC Studio Fix Fluid is fantastic. Coverage is there. Obviously, with all the mainstream brands that's come out and all the more like smaller brands, MAC has kind of gone on the back burner. But I do want to invest in a little bit of MAC this year because I've been seeing some products that I'm quite interested in. I also tried another color of the Studio Fix Fluid. If you go on Instagram, you see a lot of these brands do samples. I recommend that once you see an advert for a sample, definitely register for it because it's so worth it. So I was able to get C55, which kind of had like a green cast to it, but then when it fully settled in, it matched my skin tone perfectly. So I am tempted to get a bottle of that one. However, this one is NC55, which is one that I've used for many years. I used to be an NC50 and then I got darker and I've been using NC55 and I love this. With all the primers, works really well. This is an OG foundation that I definitely recommend. Another one that I used, I actually use them together. It's the Huda Beauty foundation. This is Gingerbread 430N and this is a full filter foundation. I do like this foundation. It is quite oily, to be honest, but I wouldn't wear it for like long-term full day wear. I would wear it for like an occasion or that type of thing, that like a short occasion, maybe a dinner or maybe to the cinema type of situation, but I wouldn't wear it like a full day of work or full day of out and about type of shopping, because I do feel like it separates over the course of the day. The oils come through and it isn't the best long term in my opinion. Plus the shade that I picked up is too light anyway, so I mixed it in with the Lottie London Velvet Skin Tinted Moisturizer, or yeah, tinted foundation, and this one is in shade Deep N045. This on its own is really good. I do have a video testing this one out, so I basically only use this to kind of deepen and warm up the color of the foundation from Huda. So I like this. I definitely would use this again. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I've always said that I'm a full coverage girl. So for me to confidently say that there are some tinted foundations out there that I love, definitely check them out because they will be worth it. So yeah. Okay, so let's do some concealers first, then we do powders. So concealer, I didn't pick out that many concealers. I actually added this, I believe I added this after the fact. And this is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Tan Deep Sand 47S. I added this in for highlighting my under eye area when I've done my foundation and my concealer, and I like this. I like the Tarte Shape Tape. It does take a little bit to dry down because you should really let your concealer dry down a little bit before you blend it out, but I do like how bright it is underneath my eye, and I only ever use a little bit, so I would definitely recommend that. Another one that I use is the Revolution Pro Ultimate Radiant Under Eye Concealer. Do have a video of this. I love the coverage of this. I love how lightweight it is. I love the color selection of this. This is definitely a drugstore favorite for me, so I recommend this one, and this shade is in C13. All these products will be linked in the description box in case you're interested, and please use my affiliate links if you do shop these products, as it does help me out a lot. Thank you very much. And then I pulled in the Pat McGrath concealer in Skin Fetish MD24, and I pulled this in because it's a really good concealing concealer. So what I mean by that is I can use this to spot correct, so any areas that I've got darkness or I've got dark spots, I can use this and then use my tinted moisturizer on top, or tinted foundation. It prevents me from having to use a full coverage foundation if I don't want to, because this is pretty full coverage. And I also use it underneath my eyes to conceal my imperfections and to also brighten. Though it is quite close to my skin, it's still a little bit lighter, so I can use it to brighten as well. But 9 out of 10 times I follow through with the Tarte concealer anyway. Anyway, this is a good full coverage concealer. I have several videos using this and recommending it. And it's so creamy, it's so hydrating. If you've got dry under eyes and you're concerned about the type of concealer that you're using, definitely check this one out. And also the Revolution Pro, they do keep the under eye hydrated for longer. And then the last one is the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in C12.5. My perfect shade is C13, so the C12.5 is more of like a highlighting shade, and similar to the Tarte Shape Tape, I use this to highlight. This for me is the dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. Nice full coverage, very inexpensive, and you know, it feels really nice it feels really nice under the eyes, and it blends out quite nicely, so I do recommend this one. Okay, so let's do powders. So for setting powder, I pulled in the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I've talked about this powder so many times because it is that girl. It is a translucent setting powder, meaning that it's not going to leave any color underneath your eye. What it will do is set your concealer in place. So this one is really up to you how you want to use it. You can use it to bake, or you can use it to just lightly set. If you've got dry under eye, or you suffer from irritation underneath your eye, I would recommend that you apply sparingly. Use a brush or use a puff, but really like press it in, as opposed to letting it bake, because this will dry your under eye if you use too much. But I do like this because it's finely milled and it sets the under eye really nicely, because you've got quite a lot of product and it will last you a really long time. So I love this product. I also pulled in the Revolution banana powder. This is a more inexpensive yellow based powder. This as well will dry your under eye if you leave it to bake. So I would recommend, if you don't want the dry under eye, or if you suffer from really dry under eye, I would recommend that you use sparingly and don't leave it to bake. But if you do love to bake, it will give you a nice yellow under eye that is nice and bright. And as I said, it's very inexpensive. So if you're looking to find an inexpensive powder to play with, to try and see if you love it, then definitely check this one out. This is from Revolution, and I've had this one for quite a long time. I actually have another one as well, and I recommend this powder. And then for all over setting powder, I've got the Revolution Pro CC Perfecting Pressed Powder in Warm Golden. This, as I always say in my videos, is my answer to the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish range, because it will leave a color on your skin, but it's very it's not as full coverage, so you can use it to set your entire face. It leaves a nice light finish, and it's just really light wearing, but still very pretty, still very finely milled, and applies really well on the skin. So I definitely recommend this, especially if you don't like wearing liquid foundation. You can spot correct with a concealer and then use your powder on top. So this is one that will always be in my collection because I do love this powder, unless I go back to MAC or I find something else. Because I used to be that MAC girl that used to buy everything MAC, lipsticks, powders, everything. And then every other brand came on board and I've just not felt the need. No, I lie. I live in a city that there is no MAC. I guarantee you, if I lived in a city where there was MAC, I would be in a MAC store pretty much every week. But because I live in a city that there's no MAC, I have to rely on online stuff, and it really isn't the best. So because here in the UK, you can't just return makeup just because. You have to return it if it's broken or if there's something wrong with it. You can't just say, oh, it's the wrong color, and change it. You can't do that. So yeah, anyway, this is inexpensive and I recommend it. Okay, so next up, let's do my eye bases because they're right in front. So with the eye bases, I did play around quite a bit with some of the colors, because with eye bases, now I recommend that you have a nice plethora of eye bases. The reason is because if you've got colored eye bases, your work is already half done. If you're looking for quick and easy looks and you have colored bases, you can do a lot of one and done looks and you're complete, than trying to blend out the nude, or you're blending. You can just invest in colored bases. Okay, you would have seen from a lot of my videos, I pretty much use colored bases for a lot of the looks, and they came out looking beautiful. They came out looking really good, you know, if I do say so myself. But so these are some of the ones that I use. So this is the Plouise base in Rumour 5. This is the one for like my nude looks, my brown looks, or if I just can't be asked to use a colored base, I use this one. It's lighter than my skin tone, but it works really well. You can also use these as concealers if you like, and they work quite nicely. They're nice and creamy. I also have colored base in Keeping It Khaki, and I used this for the Morphe palette that had like similar color story. I also pulled this one in. This is Purple Passion. Can't remember which look I used this for, but I'm guessing it's some of the more romantic palettes. I'm not too sure, but you'd have seen from the videos anyway. And then I pulled this one in OTT Orange, and I used this with the Plouise palette, and this was my one and done type of look. It was brilliant, so easy to do. And then I pulled this one in. This is Winter Rose. It's a nice beautiful pink, and I think I used this for the 35XO look. And then I did pull in my NYX glitter primer for the glitter looks or for the pressed pigment looks. And then I didn't use this one, I don't think. This is the Crisp Finish. This one is a little bit thicker and it dries a lot faster. So I use this for cut creases, and I don't think I did that many cut creases this time, if I did any at all. So this one's called Smoking Hot. Didn't really use that one. And then I used the I pulled in the Colored Rain Pink base, and this is Wheat. I didn't use this one, I don't think. And then I also pulled in this one in Rope, which I don't think I used. But yeah, these are bases that I love. Plouise bases, and I've started using the Colored Rain bases, and they're fabulous. So invest in bases. Honestly, you can also check out the Gerard Cosmetics bases as well. They're fantastic. Okay, so next up, let's do my eye bases because they're right in front. So with the eye bases, I did play around quite a bit with some of the colors, because with eye bases. Now, I recommend that you have a nice plethora of eye bases. The reason is because if you've got colored eye bases, your work is already half done. If you're looking for quick and easy looks and you have colored bases, you can do a lot of one and done looks and you're complete, than trying to blend out the nude, or you're blending. You can just invest in colored bases. Okay, you would have seen from a lot of my videos, I pretty much use colored bases for a lot of the looks, and they came out looking beautiful. They came out looking really good, you know, if I do say so myself. But so these are some of the ones that I use. So this is the Plouise base in Rumour 5. This is the one for like my nude looks, my brown looks, or if I just can't be asked to use a colored base, I use this one. It's lighter than my skin tone, but it works really well. You can also use these as concealers if you like, and they work quite nicely. They're nice and creamy. I also have colored base in Keeping It Khaki, and I used this for the Morphe palette that had like similar color story. I also pulled this one in. This is Purple Passion. Can't remember which look I used this for, but I'm guessing it's some of the more romantic palettes. I'm not too sure, but you'd have seen from the videos anyway. And then I pulled this one in OTT Orange, and I used this with the Plouise palette, and this was my one and done type of look. It was brilliant, so easy to do. And then I pulled this one in. This is Winter Rose. It's a nice beautiful pink, and I think I used this for the 35XO look. And then I did pull in my NYX glitter primer for the glitter looks or for the pressed pigment looks. And then I didn't use this one, I don't think. This is the Crisp Finish. This one is a little bit thicker and it dries a lot faster. So I use this for cut creases, and I don't think I did that many cut creases this time, if I did any at all. So this one's called Smoking Hot. Didn't really use that one. And then I used the I pulled in the Colored Rain Pink base, and this is Wheat. I didn't use this one, I don't think. And then I also pulled in this one in Rope, which I don't think I used. But yeah, these are bases that I love Plouise bases, and I've started using the Colored Rain bases, and they're fabulous. So invest in bases. Honestly, you can also check out the Gerard Cosmetics bases as well. They're fantastic. All right, so let's bring this forward a little bit so we can do the back. I'm gonna do the eyeshadow palettes last because they take up space. So let's do the ones at the back. So these are more like my eye stuff, so I'm gonna do these two together. These are my mascara. So I've got the Morphe Prime Big Prime mascara. This is a primer mascara. Now listen, if you do not like wearing false lashes but you love voluminous lashes or fuller looking lashes, I recommend that you invest in an eyelash primer. So this one leaves a blue cast, which I love, but obviously you're gonna go over it with your mascara, so that's fine. The reason why I love this, it already gives my lashes definition and volume, and then when I go over it with my mascara, it adds even more volume. As you'd see from a lot of my looks, I hardly wore lashes because I didn't feel the need to. So if you're in that similar vein, that you're so over lashes, you don't want to wear lashes, or you haven't got the time, definitely invest in a primer. I promise you're gonna love it. And this is the Morphe one. I think this retails for £10. Literally inexpensive. And then I use the Lift and Define 5D Lash mascara. I also pulled in the Ofra mascara, which has finished, and so I think I've taken it out of my Shop My Stash, but I finished that one, and so I've used this one quite a bit in a lot of the videos. So these two, I love them. Amazing. Eye pencils, I pulled in the Revolution Eye Kohl in black. Nice and creamy eye kohl. I love it. I also pulled in the Tarte Mint. So this is Easy on the Eye. This is Tarte, or one of the sister brands of Tarte. I like it. It's a nice minty color and it's very creamy and very easy on the eye. And then I pulled in this one from Wonder 2 in Essential Bordeaux. Nice wine color. I absolutely love it. Nice and creamy. This one is from Pixie. This is the Endless Silky Pen. I don't know if you can get this one anymore, but this is velvet, violet, and creamy. Very nice, pigmented. Stays in the waterline. They actually all stay in the waterline, which is nice, and show up in the waterline. And then this one is from the Beauty Crop, and this is the Eyespiration in Brave Brown. I love it. All of them are amazing. I also pulled in the So Fierce liner from Revlon. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I absolutely love these eye pencils. And this one is in shade... which shade are y'all? Midnight Mystery, and it's a black. I love them. This one actually applies like an ink in a way and then dries down. So you still got a couple of seconds to blend it out with some eyeshadow if you want to give yourself a nice smoky lash line. So yeah, I love that one. I also pulled in the Beauty Crop Eyespiration black pencil in Be Nice Noir, nice and creamy. And then another So Fierce liner. This is in shade Mighty Mocha. This is more of a brown shade. Okay, so that's it for the eye coals. And then for my brows, the Don't Play Brow Gel. Absolutely love it. Actually finished one, so I pulled in another one. That is an OG brow product. I use that, and not OG, but like literally all I've been using lately. So I use that to set my brows, and then I normally just fill it in ever so lightly with the MUA Academy Brow Define Micro Precision Eye Pencil. And this one is in shade... what shade are you? Why did they make the shade so difficult? Can't see a shade, but it's like a brown. Like a dark brown. So those two are literally all I use for my brows. So quick, easy, let it dry once you've brushed it through your brows, and then use a eyebrow pencil to kind of define some of the sparse areas. And then for my eyeliner, wing liner, I pulled in the Ofra fixed line eyeliner in black. This is the one I use the most of. I don't think I even use the Stila one. So this is the Stila Smudge Pot, which is also a good one in black. I just didn't reach for it, not because I didn't want to, but just because I didn't remember. And these are all amazing products that I would definitely recommend and be using again. Okay, so let's do my lips. My lip products. Right, so I did pull some things in that were new. So I'm just going to go through this anyway. Alright. So, this is the Color Drain lip lacquer in Butterscotch. And I live for colors like this, especially when you combine them with a brown lip pencil. I do have a lip swatch of this collection, so definitely check out my channel. And then I pulled in this, lipstick and lip gloss. So Morphe, trying to find the case. Morphe recently came out with the Out and About lip trio, and you have the Sweet Tea lip pencil, you've got lip gloss, and you've got lipstick. So the lip pencil is a little bit light for me, so I've been using the lipstick and the lip gloss. So this is the lipstick, and if you know me, you know that lip colors like this are a treat. I love them. So I've been using that one religiously. Almost feels like part of my top nude lipsticks, like matte bullet lipsticks. And then the gloss in Sweet Tea is just as beautiful. So pretty. I used it for quite a few of these looks as well. And then a couple of lip pencils. I've got the Color Drain lip pencil from the Botanicals collection in Quintings. I love this lip pencil, nice burgundy type of color. I also have this brown lip pencil from Plouise. What's the name of this one? There's no name on the standards. Yeah, nice brown, like a cool tone brown. And then I've also got another brown lip pencil from Color Drain in Decadent, and I love this one quite a lot. They're retractable pencils as well. And then I have this lip pencil from Revolution in brown. I love this, another like cool tone type of brown. And then I have my trusty MUA Cosmetics lip pencil in Obsession. I recommend this. This is such an inexpensive brown lip pencil. I love this so much. It's crazy. So definitely check this one. It's a nice warm brown. And then the rest of the lip products, I pulled in this gloss as well from Morphe. And this one is in Froze. Nice, beautiful iridescent color. Gorgeous on a nude lip. Gorgeous on any lip, to be honest. And then I pulled in these Trixie Cosmetics lip glosses. I've got I'm Baby and I've got Ginger Spice. Use them in looks as well. And then a couple more lip products right here. Right. So I pulled in MAC Peach Stock, which is another nude brown, like a really light brown color. This is pretty old, but it still works quite nicely. So I pulled this one in. I also pulled in Mean Green Machine. I don't know if I don't think I use this. This is a nice green lipstick. And then Self-Aware is a jacked up brown, which is old. Like, I should get rid of this, but I can't because it's such a beautiful color and they don't sell it anymore. So it's kind of difficult for me to give it up. And then I've got my Pat McGrath lipstick that I've fallen in love with this one. This is the color in MAC Menemy. And I love her. She's gorgeous. So yeah, I had fun with these lip colors. They were just amazing. Okay, so before we do like my bronzers and stuff, because they're at the back, let's do the eyeshadow palettes. Let's get them out of the way. So eyeshadow palettes, I did pick quite a few palettes. First one is the Norvina by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I do admit that I probably only use these palettes once. And it's because I fell ill. But, you know, at least I got to use them. This is the color story of this one. I feel like it's a very beautiful, neutral-based color story with nice pops of rose gold and pink and lilac, and it's just nice and effortless and very easy to use. Would have loved a really dark shade, like a dark matte, but I still used it and it still worked really nicely for me. Nice, beautiful, easy, light color story that I actually like. So that one I would recommend. And then another palette from Morphe. I've got the 18 pan palette, and this is the Making Bank. Yeah, this is the 18B Making Bank, and this one is my green love, and this is the one that I use, the khaki base from Plouise. You've got some beautiful greens there, you've got yellow, you've got some nice neutrals. This is a really good eyeshadow palette. Worked really nicely for me. I've used it a few times and I have no complaints whatsoever. And then another Morphe one is the 35XO Natural Flirt. And this is a nice, light, effortless, pinky rose gold type of eyeshadow palette. 35 pounds. You do have a pressed glitter in there, but I'm not mad at it. I actually use the pressed glitter in the look. Nice, beautiful purple shades. Would have loved a darker tone shade there. And I do admit that I can't use all the colors in this palette because of my skin tone. But at least the last 3 rolls are pretty much close to what I would use easily. So yeah. Do I fully recommend this? I feel like if you've got the Jaclyn Hill palette or maybe the 18 pan palette that's got like purples in it, you probably wouldn't need this palette, to be honest. It's a nice to have, but not a must have. Okay, let's do the Natasha Denona palettes. So I pulled in the Zendo palette, and this was the first time I was actually using this one. And this is the way the palette looks. You've got some nice neutral colors. You've also got some greens. It's pretty. I used the greens. I used a little bit of the brown. I definitely want to use this palette more because this shade was really, really exciting. It gave like a nice rose gold type of finish. So I like this palette. I love the ease of use of these size palettes from Natasha Denona, and I definitely do recommend that one. I also picked up the Love palette, which was also the first time me using this one, and this was more for like the season of love. You guys don't want to know what time it is. I'm literally like, it's way past my bedtime, but here we are. This is what this one looks like. You've got some nice pinks, some purples there as well, and I love the look that I created using this palette. This is one I would definitely use again. I also featured it as part of my top Valentine's Day palettes that I would recommend. So I love those 2 palettes. They worked out a treat. And then I've got the Pat McGrath Utopian Dream palette. This one was stunning. I used 1 major color in this palette and I am smitten. Even just from my phone, I can see how fantastic that color is. It's just transforming. Pat McGrath makes really, really good formula. I would have preferred a few more mattes, so does everyone else who tries Pat McGrath palettes, but this color made up for it, and I absolutely love the way the look came out. I definitely recommend this one as well. She's a good palette to have. She's absolutely gorgeous and very, very easy to use. And then the 2 bigger palettes, I've got the P. Louise All I See Is Signs palette. She's big, she's chunky, but she packs a punch. The pigmentation of P. Louise palettes is crazy good. So this is a big girl. I don't know how I'm gonna hopefully hold it up like that, but she's a big girl. So you've got some very beautiful orange, you've got yellow, you've got neutral colors, and I absolutely love the look that I created with this one. Very easy look. This is a palette I would definitely want to use again and again, just because I was able to create one easy look using oranges. I definitely want to try the other shades in this palette. The pigmentation of P. Louise palette is fantastic, so I have nothing bad to say about the quality of her eyeshadows. So chunky though. And then this one is a little smaller but still chunky because you've got 2 sides to this palette, like literally 2 color stories. This is the first one with all the pinks, and that's not the one I used. I actually used the other side, and I did 2 looks using this palette. This is probably the only palette that I used twice, and it looks like I didn't even use it at all. And it's so pretty. You've got the reds, the orange, the green. I definitely want to pull this one back in again so that I can use the other side. Like literally, this is such a good palette. Plus it's a lot lighter than the other one. Like I can literally hold it in one hand without feeling the burn. And that's all the eyeshadow palette. All right, let's go through the other stuff. So I've got my setting sprays. I've got the Morphe X Jeffree Star. Always have this. I love it. It's a nice setting mist. And then I use the Luminous setting spray. This helps to settle down any powders. It isn't a setting spray for me. It just helps me illuminate and kind of settles down the powder. I also have a Super Fix Super Hold misting spray. This one's from Revolution. This one keeps my makeup on for longer. Also has vitamin E and aloe, and it's ultra matte. Literally keeps my makeup on for longer. So if you're an oily skin girl, you definitely want this. If you're a dry skin girl, get you some of this so that your face doesn't feel dry. Also, get you some of the continuous setting mist. This is a special edition packaging. They normally come in black, and you're gonna love it. I also pulled in a single shadow from Pat McGrath. Didn't actually use that one. Now let's talk about the face product. So I pulled in the Be Perfect Sub-Zero Highlight Collection, and this is a collaboration with Made by Mitchell. This is an old palette, but it's an oldie but a goodie. I love these highlighters. They're gorgeous, beautiful on brown skin, dark skin. You've got something for everyone, and it illuminates quite nicely on my skin. Doesn't feel chunky or grainy. It just works really nicely. I also pulled in the Ofra highlighter in Pumpkin Pie, which looks like this, and it's a nice like golden yellowish type of highlighter that I absolutely love. Illuminates quite nicely, kind of gives like almost a rose gold type of finish. I love that. And then for bronzer, I pulled in the Colored Rain bronzer in Naughty Spice. I love this. It feels like a cool tone bronzer on me, or rather it looks like a cool tone bronzer on me. So I use this to contour more than bronze because it's quite cool tone on me. But then to bronze, I like to use the Fenty Beauty bronzer in Mocha Mami. I've used this quite a bit. I'm already beginning to see the dent. I can see the indentation of the bottom of the pan. This has had a lot of love because I recommend it. It's quite red, so be prepared for that. It's really, really warm, so if you're looking for something, definitely check that one out. All right, so last few stuff. I also pulled in the Trixie Causmetics Just the Girl blush palette, and I use this as a blush, as a highlighter, because these colors are absolutely gorgeous. You can also use this as one eyeshadow palette if you like. Put this in your outer corner, put this all over your lid, jobs are gooding. Or use this as one eyeshadow color. You can do so much with this palette, and I absolutely love it. It's one that I am so tempted to pull back in, but I'll try not to because I use quite a lot of it. For my blush, I pulled in the Aether Beauty Crystal Charred Cheek Palette in Ruby, and literally used this color pretty much throughout. I love this. Gorgeous blush. I also pulled in another bronzer, so the Elf Putty Bronzer, and this one is in shade Sunkissed. So this is Sunkissed, and I love this one. And then cream blush from Colored Rain. This is one of the latest releases. This was part of the Botanicals collection, I believe, and this one is Stiletto Rose cream blush, and I'm a fan of cream blushes now. They look so beautiful on the skin, a nice luminous finish, so I enjoyed this. And I actually want to show you the inside of the Elf because it's got quite a good dent going with that one because I used it quite a bit, so I'm very proud of myself. So literally from all the products that I pulled into the Shop My Stash this time, the only products that I wouldn't 100%, 100% recommend, I wouldn't 100% recommend the 35XO Natural Flirt palette because you can do without. You've probably got better shades in your collection. I also wouldn't 100% recommend the Makeup Obsession Putty Primer. If you're lighter skin, you probably will like this because the cast will probably not show on you. But if you're a woman of color or a person of color, then this is a nah. Don't do it. everything else pretty much lived up. So I'm gonna put these stuff away, clean my case, and then we're gonna pick products. Okay, so the case is empty. Let's start filling it up. So the first thing I want to start off with is a foundation or a few foundations so that I can find primers that would work for them. All right, so we are at my foundations and let's just see what we want to use. So I'm going to try and avoid picking any of the ones that I picked. Here in the UK, it is pretty cold, but then we're moving into kind of like spring a little bit. It's rainy, it's cold, so I still want mattifying foundation, but I still want hydrating foundation because though it is cold, it is pretty drying. Pretty drying here in the UK. So there are a few foundations that I want to use this time. I actually want to use this one. It is light. This is the L'Oreal. Okay, focus on that. Okay, so this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation, and this is pretty light for me. So the shade that I picked up is so light. I'm gonna need a darker foundation to mix it with. So the one I tend to reach for is the L'Oreal True Match foundation. This is in shade 10D. And this is the one that I've used before to mix it. This one has more of a red undertone. It's very luminous and glowing. It's a beautiful foundation. And this one is in shade 330 Noisette Hazelnut, I think. And that's what this one looks like. So we're going to pull this one. It does feel quite luminous. I don't remember it being like a matte foundation. I kind of remember it being luminous and quite fresh feeling on the skin. So we'll see how we get on with that. So I'm picking that one. All right, I also want to pick up more like a tinted foundation type of situation. I did enjoy the ones that I picked up previously, so I at least want to have one. And this one is the XX Revolution Light Mocha. And this is all right. I wouldn't say it's the best thing. The puff is not great at all, so I only tested it once with the puff, and then ever since then I've just used it. Mine doesn't light up. Actually, it was a comment from one of you asking if it lights up. I had to go back to the review video to see if it did light up, and it did, but it doesn't light up anymore. But it doesn't matter. This is what it looks like on the inside, and it's a pretty nice color. I enjoyed it. I do have a video testing it out, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that one, definitely check it out. I think I'm being a little bit greedy this time, but I think I want to pick some more. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked foundation, and I do like this. I did test it in summer when my review video went up, so it did pull off a little bit oily because of the heat and me having combination oily skin. But I think in the winter months when I've used it, it actually looks and feels really nice, and it does stay a little bit longer on the skin. So this is one that I want. It's a weightless foundation. It's not a mattifying foundation, so it ticks that box of having like a luminous type of foundation, which means I have two of that. Another one that I want to pick that is a little bit luminous as well is the Stila Hide and Cheek Fluid Foundation, and this one is in shade Deep 3. And I've enjoyed using this foundation. I don't think I've used it that much on YouTube, but I have used it quite a lot on Instagram. And just in case if I didn't mention, the Urban Decay foundation is 80WY. So the only foundation that I'm missing now is a full matte foundation. And I think for that, I'm going to put in the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. This is a full coverage foundation, and my shade is Mahogany, and I do love this. It's a very nice full coverage mattifying foundation. So I've got quite a lot of foundations that I've pulled in this time, but I just want options. So hopefully we'll see how we get on. But yeah, I'm quite happy with these. I do want to say apologies if it looks dull and gloomy. This is the situation of the UK. The windows are, I mean, the curtains are open, but it's so dark and gloomy outside that it's awful. And by the way, I am recording on the second day, if you're wondering, because I was recording at midnight before. But anyway, you can still see the product, so that's all right. So I've got one mattifying foundation. So I do want something that's gonna keep my skin feeling hydrated, but I'm gonna try and avoid pulling the same products that I pulled. So the one I want to pull, actually, because I can't remember how I feel about this one, and this is the MUA Academy Pro Base Moisturizing Primer. This has vitamin A, E, and tea tree oil. I've used this one, which is the mattifying version of it, and I absolutely love this. So I'm hoping that I will love this one just as much. So we're gonna pull that. I also want pore filling and also kind of like luminous or hydrating. So I did test this one, which was a bit of a fail. I do love this one, so I'm not going to pull this in because I always do. My Tarte one as well, I always pull that one in. It's almost finished, so I'm not going to pull that. But I haven't tested this one. This is the Revolution Pore Perfecting Primer. This is a velvet priming balm. So let's see how we get on with this one, because I haven't tried this one out. So that should satisfy the need for a pore filling one. And then I want to pull in, apologies, it's got like a smudge. 1 second. That's much better. So I want to pull in the Thrive Causemetics Liquid Light Therapy. This is an all-in-one face serum. And you can use this as a primer for your foundation. So it says morning, evening, use 1 pump with your moisturizer for supercharged hydration. I'm sure I read somewhere where it said you could use it as a primer. But anyway, I'm going to pull this one in for hydration. So let's see. And maybe another. I haven't. What about this one? Dew Me Up. This is a dewy one. Not really looking for a dewy one. This is an illuminating one. I've used this one to death. Shine Killer, though. I've used this one recently. Okay, I have this primer from Mary Kay. So this is the Mary Kay foundation primer. This one actually has SPF 15 in it. Medium protection primer. It's oil free, suitable for sensitive skin, oil free. And great canvas for your foundation. Okay, so we'll pull this one in. So that gives me 4 primers. I think that's fine. I actually forgot to pull concealers. I only have 1 drawer of concealers anyway. Concealers is something that I do want to buy a few more of. There've been a few releases of new concealers that I'm actually looking at. Plus, I'm looking at pulling in the MAC concealer. I forgot the name, but like the popular one. So we'll see. LA Girl Pro Conceal. I love this one in Fawn. So I'll probably pull this one in. It's not going to be that exciting, because I don't have that many to select from. Probably the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion. I absolutely love this one. And this is 5W. Probably pull this one. And can you focus, please? I actually forgot to pull concealers. I only have 1 drawer of concealers anyway. Concealers is something that I do want to buy a few more of. There've been a few releases of new concealers that I'm actually looking at. Plus, I'm looking at pulling in the MAC concealer. I forgot the name, but like the popular one. So we'll see. LA Girl Pro Conceal. I love this one in Fawn. So I'll probably pull this one in. It's not going to be that exciting, because I don't have that many to select from. Probably the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion. I absolutely love this one. And this is 5W. Probably pull this one in. Can you focus, please? There we go. Much better. So I'll probably pull this one in. And then I do want like quite just a light-ish one. So I'll pull this one in. This is the Revolution Super Size Conceal and Define in C12.5. I'll pull that one in, and I'll pull in this one from Tarte. This is the Creaseless Concealer. This is very, very light for me, so I'm only going to use it on like the inner corners to create like a light under eye if that's what I want. And this is 45S Tan Deep Sand. So pull this one. While we're here, let's pull some powders. So my trusty face powder from Revolution Pro. This is the CC Perfecting Pressed Powder. To be honest, this is the only pressed all over face powder that I like to use, so it's pretty much going to appear in every video, let's just be honest. And then I'm gonna pull in this one from, which color was it? It's the medium one from the Beauty Crop. Yeah, so this is the Vitamin Babe powder in medium 3, and I quite like this one. I've reviewed it as well. It doesn't have like a warm feel or warm look to it. It also doesn't have like a yellow look to it. It's more neutral base, which I actually love, because sometimes my concealer can pull a little bit too yellow and I want something to neutralize that. This kind of gives me that, so I do like this shade. So I'll pull that one. I'm also gonna pull this one from Tarte. This is the pressed version. Honestly, I can't find this on their website in this color, so if you know what's going on with Tarte, please let me know. So that's this one, and this is in shade 47N Tan Deep Neutral. So I'm gonna pull this one because sometimes I like to use pressed powders underneath my eye. And then I am gonna pull my Pat McGrath one. This is the Pat McGrath Labs in a light medium 2. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfecting Setting Powder. So I'm going to pull this one, which means I have 3 setting powders, which is fine with me. Once we've picked the eyeshadow palettes, we'll come back and pick some eye bases. So I've got like my neutral bases here, and I've got more of my colored bases here. So yeah, let's pick some. What do we want to pick next? Let's pick the rest of my face. So let's pick the other stuff that I'm going to use for my face. So blush, bronzer, contour powder if I like, and highlighter, and then we'll do eyeshadow last because that one I struggle. Okay, so this is the only drawer with all my bronzers and contour powders, which I love. I love to keep it simple. I'm quite happy with the way it is. So let's see. I actually haven't used this one in a long time, and it looks beat up because this was my OG palette. Pretty beat up. So this is the Morphe, which one is this one? 8H Hi-Fi palette, and this was the palette that existed before they came out with the palettes that I know and love now. So let's see, before they came out with the 8R, which I talk about all the time, and the other one. So this is literally what we had for dark skin, and from time to time I still use it, and literally I have to mix all 4 for it to make it like to have some impact on my face, because these 3 are way too light for me and this one's too red, so I kind of have to neutralize the red with the other ones that are too light. But I don't believe in just chucking it because I can still get some use out of it. Plus the highlighters are super pretty. So I'm going to pull this one. I haven't used it in a long time, to be honest. So I'm going to pull it and see if I can get some use out of it. I do want to pull a cream bronzer because I did enjoy the e.l.f. one. So I'm going to pull the XX Revolution one. And it's this one. It's a little stiffer than the rest of them, but I have got some use out of this one, and this is in Agenda, and I do love the packaging of this. It's nice and weighty, super inexpensive, and it's quite nice, to be honest. So I'm going to pull that one. I'm I'm gonna pull this one for Revolution. This is the contour and highlight palette collaboration with Roxy, or yeah. And I'm gonna pull this for contouring. Again, these three shades don't work. It's literally this one, or I mix these two for me to get some payoff. But then these two highlighters are absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna pull this one for contouring for the days that I feel like doing a little bit of definition. And then lastly, I'm going to pull in my beat up Ofra midi palette, because we love a beat up looking palette because it means it's been loved and used and worn. And this one is in the medium one. So this is the midi, no, this is the midi palette, Face It in Deep. And I love this. I love it because I can use every single shade in this palette. I've got this one for bronzing, this one for highlighter, and this is like a blush highlighter. So if I don't feel like going in with a highlighter, but I still want a color of blush, I just go in with this one. I love it. It's so beautiful. Yeah. I think I'm cheating now. I want to pull in one more. And this is the Gerard Cosmetics Starlit Palette Sunset and Vine. And just like the Ofra one, I absolutely love this because I can use every single color in here. I've got two highlighters, but this one sometimes I can use as a highlighter and blush, similar to the Ofra one. And then this is a really nice bronzer. I also do want to mention that with Ofra and Gerard Cosmetics, you can use my code MTHRSHP to save some money. I do have Ofra, I do have an Ofra affiliate code in case if you're not aware, and you can save some money. And the Gerard Cosmetics one as well still works on products that are not on sale, I believe. So you can definitely use that to save some money. All my codes and links are in the description box under my link tree. So if you're ever interested or wondering which affiliate codes I have for you to save some money, definitely check out my link tree. Let's do blushes. My blush drawer isn't the most exciting, to be honest, because I quickly realized last year that I had a lot of blushes, but I didn't reach for a lot of them because, you know, I like what I like, okay? So this is pretty new-ish because I haven't used it, but it isn't new as in a new release. This is the Ofra Blushful palette, and this came out for their breast cancer awareness month. So you can see all the beautiful signs that says Rise Together, the breast cancer symbol. So, and plus the names of the colors are so beautiful. You've got Brave, Pink Ribbon, Confident, Powerful, Warrior, Hope. I've been wanting to pull this into Shop My Stash, to be honest, because these colors are absolutely stunning and I know I will get some beautiful use out of it. This is the kind of blush that I like to use, so hopefully it translates quite nicely on my skin. So I'm going to pull this one, and then I'm going to pull a cream one because I did enjoy the Colored Rain one. So, or maybe a liquid one, more like. So I'm going to pull in this one from Made by Mitchell. And this is Where's the SPF? And then maybe one more blush palette. This Back to the Future one from Trixie is pretty nice. However, I would only be reaching for this color as much. Or maybe I might reach for these two as well, because I think I do want to pull in some purples and some blues. So that's a maybe. Or maybe I'll just pull this one because I haven't used this one in a while. This is the Thrive Cosmetics Cosmo Power Multi-Dimensional Strobing Blush in Angelina. It looks like this. It's like a light wash of blush on my skin, which I don't mind. Like, I'm not the biggest lover of blush. I use it because it's pretty, but I could do without. So I'll pull this one. I think that's it for blushes. Let's do highlighters. So my highlighter drawer is still pretty much extensive. I've got this one, and I've also got another one at the top. So I'm gonna pull probably one or two from here, and then one or two from the one at the top. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this one from Revolution. I've only swatched it. I don't think I've used it, but I have used them when they were sold individually. And this is the Revolution Shimmer Brick. Yeah, this is a Shimmer Brick palette. It is very pretty. You do get some really lovely tones from this. So I'll pull that. I think I'm gonna go with the Glow Kit. I got rid of the other one because I don't use it as much, and this one was on the chopping block because I don't really use it as much. So let's see if I can get some use out of it to justify me keeping it. And trust me, I know I'm picking a lot of products, but I do want to have options. And that's one thing that I noticed from the January one. I didn't have that many options. And so the videos kind of look like I was using the same products over and over, which is the point. But I do want to try other things as well while I'm experiencing my collection. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I received a new highlighter from Pixi, and it's this one. This one is so pretty. So this is the glowy powder in Rose Dew. It looks like this. It's so pretty, isn't it? So I do want to pull that one because I am quite intrigued to see what that one looks like on me. I do want to pull this one from Revolution Pro. So this is the, what's this one? Goddess Glow Shimmer Brick in Sublime. Tell me this isn't pretty. This is so pretty, right? This is gorgeous. So, and that's it. Ah! Do you think it broke? It didn't. Ah! I can't believe it hit so many things and yet it didn't break. Well done, Revolution. Well done. All right, so it's the moment of truth. We're at my bookcase with all my eyeshadows. So what you can't see is there's a top level. So I'm going to start from there. I'm going to pick two shadows from that shelf. Lost for words. I've got my handbags in the middle. And then I'm going to pick two eyeshadows from here. And then two eyeshadows from here. And then two eyeshadows from the... I know, I've got a lot. They're on top of each other now. It's ridiculous. So, let's see. Right, so the eyeshadow palettes I have here, I've got mostly my Revolution ABH palettes, one Plouise straggler on top. So I kind of have an idea of which eyeshadow palette I want to pick. I have my eye on this one. And this is the Revolution Smoke and Mirrors palette. All right, so it's the moment of truth. We're at my bookcase with all my eyeshadows. So what you can't see is there's a top level. So I'm going to start from there. I'm going to pick two shadows from that shelf. Lost for words. I've got my handbags in the middle. And then I'm going to pick two eyeshadows from here. And then two eyeshadows from here. And then two eyeshadows from the... I know, I've got a lot. They're on top of each other now. It's ridiculous. So, let's see. Right, so the eyeshadow palettes I have here, I've got mostly my Revolution ABH palettes, one Plouise straggler on top. So I kind of have an idea of which eyeshadow palette I want to pick. I have my eye on this one. And this is the Revolution Smoke and Mirrors palette. Now, I've swatched this palette so many times. Not sure if I've used it at all. I don't think so. And... yeah, it doesn't even look like I've swatched it. Maybe I think I have, but I really haven't. It's so pretty. No, I'm pretty sure I've swatched this palette. I have. I've just been really careful then. So this is what this one looks like. Look at that. Beautiful blues. I can do so much with this palette. And why I haven't used it as much? Because I've got a lot, basically. So we're going to pull this one. It's just absolutely stunning. All right. You're with me during this whole thought process because I'm not really too sure what I want to do. But the last time I picked an ABH palette because I had a few ABH palettes that I haven't used. I don't want to do that this time. I kind of want to experience even older palettes that some of you probably have and haven't used. So Probably the colors I'm picking this time are not cohesive, but that's fine. I want to pick this one. As crazy as it is, I'm interested in using this one. And this is pretty old. This is the Game of Thrones palette by Urban Decay. It's a pretty chunky palette. Not gonna lie, I don't know how this is gonna fit in the case because of how chunky, like it's so chunky. And then you literally pull it, and then that's the eyeshadow palette. So this is pretty much the palette. You've got some beautiful neutrals, you've got some beautiful purples. I can count the amount of times I've used this palette, maybe once or twice, twice at the most, but I know I can get some really beautiful looks using this palette. So I wish there was a way to have this palette in isolation without the chunky packaging, but I don't have much of a choice, and I do want to use it. So we're gonna pull the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. Okay, so we're on this roll, and this roll pretty much has my neutrals, and this is a neutral palette from Plouise, but this is a colorful palette from Plouise. I only put it there because I haven't got space, but they're pretty much like neutrals or muted tones type of colors. This one shouldn't be there. This is the Love palette. I've put it in the wrong place. To be honest, it should be here. Alright, so these are all my neutrals. So, what do I want? I've got my ABH palettes here. I've got Too Faced. I've got my I Heart Revolution palettes. I've got my Revolution Pro palettes. Tarte palettes. Pat McGrath. Juvias face. I'm trying to think of palettes that I haven't used as much. Alright, so this one's pretty new. This is a Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, and that's what this one looks like. And though you've got some colors in there, it does pull pretty neutral for the most part, and I haven't used it, so I'm gonna pull this one just on that basis. I do want to pull a neutral palette that I am going to enjoy using as well. So I think I'm going to pull the Morphe Madison Bear palette. I've talked about this palette a few times, so it'll be nice to get some looks done on YouTube using this baby because it is gorgeous. I don't think you can get your hands on it, but I know a lot of people picked it up. So hopefully it will inspire you to dust off your palette and use it. So let's pick this one. Okay, so we're now on this roll, and definitely want to use this one. I've been itching since I got it to use this one. This is the Last Holiday palette from Pat McGrath, and this is the Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey palette. And let me tell you, I've been itching to use her because she is gorgeous, absolutely stunning. What? Still heavy shimmer foil type of shades. I think I haven't swatched these, so I don't even know what they swatch like, but you still get some mattes that you can use to create some definition and some dimension on your eye, and a plethora of beautiful colors. Look at those greens and those teals, and gorgeous. Like, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this one, so definitely want to pull this one. And then I kind of want like a small palette. I think I'm going to avoid Morphe palettes this time, just because I always pull a Morphe palette. So I'm going to pull this one from Juvia's Face because I haven't used it. And I do want to do ranking, though I don't have all the eyeshadow palettes from Juvia's, but I still have quite a good number. So I want to be able to rank them from experience and not just from color story or the ones that I've actually used, but like to use all of them and share everything about the quality of it. So this is the Nubian Royal palette, and this is the purple one. She released two of this type of palette. One is more like yellow orangey sunset one. I don't think I have that one. And then this one, maybe I do, I don't know, I don't think so. And I haven't used this one, and I can already see there's a pressed glitter there, one that performs like a, no, it's a pressed glitter. So quite excited to see what I can create with this one. That's it from this shelf. We're literally keeping it to 2 shadows. And then moving down, excuse the angle. This is as low as I can get it for now. We're going to pick a couple. I do want to stick to small palettes if possible, because then I feel like I can create a few looks using smaller palettes as opposed to trying to use like lots of shadows. Do you know what I mean? I did want to pull back in the Plouise Queen palette, but I think I'll leave it for another Shop My Stash. So let's put that away. I do want to focus on like the smaller palettes that I've got down here. I've got a few of the Beauty Bay mini palettes. So these are the Disney in color palettes. So let's look at the Alice in Wonderland one. And these are so cheap. So cheap on the Beauty Bay website. It's ridiculous. That's what this one looks like. So cute. And they're like all matte palettes. So that's this one. And what I'm thinking is to pull these in and use liquid shadows maybe on the days that I want to use it. I don't know. You know, I could create so many like easy, quick looks using these palettes. I hope you have the vision like I do. I have the vision of what I'm thinking. So that's the Alice. And then the Bambi one. This one, the color story of this one, warms my heart. Literally warms my heart. This is the packaging of this one. So cute. Look at that. That is just like pastel dreams. That's stunning. It's stunning to look at, and it's just stunning. I feel like they'll be effortless looks. So I'm going to pull these two in together because I feel like, let me just show you. I feel like they'll complement each other quite nicely in a way. Like there are a few colors that will work together, if you know what I mean. Like I've got this one has more of a peachier tone, and then this one is brown. You've got this, you know. You've got these ones which are nice, like brow bone color or even all over lid colors. So yeah, I've got a few ideas. So I'm going to pull these two together as one palette just because, and then I'm going to pull another one. Okay, so I'm going to pull this one from Dido Cosmetics. I showed this last year. I did get a couple of eyeshadow palettes from them. They sent them to me to try, and I just haven't had the chance to. So I'm going to pull this one in. This is the Neon eyeshadow palette, and it's an all matte palette. You've got some very beautiful looks. I haven't swatched this. Some very beautiful shadows. I haven't swatched it, but the colors look so vibrant. I can imagine how they'll translate. Plus, I do have the Beauty Bay palettes if I need to share out any color or diffuse any color type of thing. But it's just stunning. So I'm definitely going to pull this one in. And that's the last eyeshadow palette. Now, because we've got quite a lot of colorful palettes, I think I'm just going to have to pull the base as and when I want to use them. And then I'll leave them in my case so that when I come back to you, I will give you my thoughts. Because, yeah, there are quite a lot of colorful palettes that I've pulled. But one thing I'm definitely going to pull is my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas base. I'm gonna pull this one because I've got the Madison Bare neutral palette, which I know I need a neutral base for, and I'm also gonna pull the Plouise Rumour 5 because these are standard. But the colorful ones, I'll pull them in when I'm using them, and then I'm gonna pull in my NYX glitter adhesive because there is a pressed glitter in there, and we're gonna need a glitter adhesive to keep it in place. Alright, so my vanity is full at the moment, and I know I still need to pick lip colors, but I think I want to start putting this stuff in the case so I can actually have some space to navigate to where my lip colors and liquid shadows are kept. I know it's a struggle. Still need to pick some eye pencils and all of that. So let me start sorting out myself so that I can get this done. So I'm going to fast forward all of this. My goodness, that was more challenging than I thought. So let me split this so I can have space for my lip products. Okay, that was so challenging to fit everything, but let's get some lip products going. I've got neutrals, I've got blues, I've got purples, I've got jewel tones, I've got bright colors, I've got pastel colors. So I'm thinking to go with nudes, like nude lipsticks. I'm thinking to go with some darker tones, like some vampy tones type of situation, and some glosses as well. That's what I'm thinking. So let's see what I can pull. So just over here I've got some acrylic drawers, and I keep my Morphe lipsticks here, and I do have quite a number of Morphe lipsticks, that tray and that tray. So let's see. All right, so I do have a few options that I'm going for. So I've got this one in Boo, which I've used a few times on my channel. You can already see from usage level, like sometimes it refuses to focus. Anyway, I have used this a few times. You can see from the usage level, it has like a yellow creamy finish to it, which is quite nice. It is a matte lipstick. It does mattify over time, so I love that one. I also want to pull in this one I haven't used. This one's called Forward, and tell me this color isn't fun. It's an orange based red, I want to say, more orange than red. It's so pretty. I haven't used it, haven't swatched, haven't done anything with it, but so vibrant. So we're gonna have some fun with that one. And then this one's called Hubs. I've used this one a few times. This is like my safe dark neutral type of color. It's not a brown, it's more like a burgundy finish, I think. Like a burgundy brown, I would say. I have used this a few times. This one is a cream based lipstick, so it's not matte. The other two are matte and the other one is cream. So I'm not gonna blind you because of the lights, and I really needed to see, but I am gonna pick some lip colors from my acrylic drawers. Right, so no doubt I'll probably pull in some more lip colors as I go along, but these are some of the ones that popped to mind. So I want to pull in this one from Gerard Cosmetics. This is the Hydra Matte Liquid Lipstick in Night Rider. It's a nice purple based matte liquid lipstick. I also want to pull this one from Dragoon Beauty. This is a true red, and I enjoy this color. And this one's called Dragoon Class. I do have a lip swatch of this on my channel if you're interested in seeing what it looks like. And I think you can still pick it up from Beauty Bay. And then I want to pull in this neutral gloss from Madison Bear collection in Venus. It's a really nice neutral gloss. And then this lip vinyl from Makeup Revolution. I do have a lip swatch of my affordable lip, like nude lip combos. So definitely check that one out. This one is in Chauffeur. I quite like that one. I also pulled the Huda Beauty Demi Matte liquid lipstick in Feminist. This is nice brown, like a nude. And then I pulled in this ultimate lipstick from Maybelline in More Taupe. It's a slim lipstick. And then obviously the Morphe lipsticks that I showed you. I think I'm going to keep it to this for now. And then as I go along, if I do need to pull in other lipsticks, I'll pull them in and then we'll talk about it when I do come back to you. But it's a lot. I know I've got a lot, but I want variety. I want variety without having to go into my collection every time. So hopefully I can get what I'm looking for from this. So let me pick some lip pencils to match some of this lip products. Okay, so I've got these. I've got my MUA Academy lip pencil in Obsession. I'm obsessed with it. Comes every time. My Colored Rain lip pencil in Decadent. This is from the Botanicals collection, and I love this because it's like a true wine color. And then I've got this one from Gerard Cosmetics in Red Brick Road. This is literally for the red lipstick, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna love this. I might actually prefer to use the one called Immortal. If I can find it. Which obviously I can't find for now, so I'm just gonna pop this in for now and then see. And then I've got this Glide On lip pencil from Urban Decay in Blackmail. It's a nice wine color. And then this dark plummy color from Gerard Cosmetics in Night Shift. Right? Yes, Night Shift. Pulling this one in. Yeah. Alright, so this is the case. I've got my eyeshadow palettes in front. I've got all of my eye stuff, so eye pencils, mascara, liquid liner, bases here. I've got my lip products here. I've got my 3 setting sprays and luminous sprays. Let's pop this out. I've got my powders and primers here. I've got my concealers and foundation here. I've got my highlighters, blush, and bronzer and contour here. And that's literally it. I love this case. I don't think I would be able to do this Shop My Stash as well as I'm doing it right now. In my opinion, I feel like I'm rotating my products quite well. And I don't think I'd have done that if I didn't have something like this that is not cumbersome and doesn't take up a lot of space. I literally pop it on the floor next to me when I'm getting ready, and I'm actually looking for a little table to put it on just so that I don't have to bend. But keeping everything in one place just makes life a lot easier. So, and a lot of these products wouldn't fit in a drawer. I literally would be so messy. So I do like this. Right, one more thing that I forgot to pull in that has just come to my mind, and that's the liquid eyeshadows. Okay, so this is literally all I've got. These are my liquid shadows and glitters and stuff like that. So I love these Morphe ones. I'm probably gonna pull this one. I've used this one in a video and I love it. I'm gonna pull this one because it's like magic. And then I recently got this one from Stila and I used it in a video and it looked really, really nice. It's very iridescent as well. I've got another one. Quite nice. I've got this one as well. So sparkly. Very pretty. And because these ones are specific colors. So unless I'm sure that I'm going to use that color, I'm literally looking for just shiny. I think 4 is enough, to be honest. Let's just pick 4. This bronzy one as well from Stila I quite like. or this pinky one, or black. Okay, no, I'm getting sidetracked now. So I'm gonna pull this one from Stila, and this is Diamond Dust. It's very pretty. Pop it on the side. I'm also gonna pull this one in Opal Ice. It has like pinks and purple in it. Very pretty. And then this one from Morphe. I don't know if they still sell this, but this is Heated. And then this one is Caliente, which I love. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to end the video here. I hope you enjoyed this Shop My Stash, and I hope you enjoyed my thoughts about the previous Shop My Stash. Definitely check out the tutorials, because as I said, I did create a look using all the palettes, so at least I've got that, including the base products. I did share my thoughts about some of the newer products that I was using, so definitely check that out if that's of interest to you, and definitely let me know if you love the Shop My Stash videos. If you want me to keep doing it, you guys have to let me know that you're enjoying it, because as always, as I normally say to you guys, the views don't always match up. So let me know. If not, then I'll probably not do it on YouTube, or probably do it on Instagram or TikTok or something, because I really just want to put stuff on YouTube that you would enjoy watching. So definitely let me know if you love those videos. And yeah, if you enjoyed this one, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and turn on your notification bell so you know when next I release a video. Remember, God doesn't like ugly. Be nice to someone today, and Black lives will always matter. And I'll catch you in a future video. Bye.